Welcome back to ARC Maine. Drug-induced hallucinations and erratic behavior are on the rise from a resurgence of methamphetamine in Maine.
Meth is making a big comeback across the state, especially Maine's largest city. ARC Maine's Brad Rogers looks at what's behind it and what makes meth so harmful to those who use it.
On the streets of Portland, people with substance use disorder tell us meth is their new drug of choice.
Money, really. It's a money thing, and
meth is cheaper.
It's cheaper to make.
Methamphetamine is a highly addictive synthetic stimulant that goes by many names.
They call it crank and speed.
Short-term effects include feelings of euphoria as the drug causes the brain to release feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine.
For me, it gives me energy. It allows me to stay more focused and centered. And it's just kind of like a freeing feeling of your emotions.
But long-term use causes insomnia, anxiety, hallucinations, memory loss, and a rapid or irregular heartbeat.
You're much more at risk for stroke and heart attack, wounds and abscesses. People can develop paranoia.
It's that behavior police are often called to respond to on the streets.
So they can be in the park, stripped out of their clothes, hitting themselves, bouncing off of walls.
We met Libby, an admitted meth user on Oxford Street in Portland. She told us about her hallucinations and showed us where she scratches frantically at scabs to rid herself of what doctors call hallucinatory meth bugs.
There's some kind of parasite or living organism that's in the ice that destroys and deteriorates the body from the inside out. I've been around drugs and doing drugs off and on all my life, and I've never experienced anything like this.
According to police, meth makes up 30% of drugs on the street right now. So why, after years of successfully stemming meth use, has Portland suddenly seen a rise? They say when the focus shifted to cracking down on opioids, dealers turned back to a cheaper and easier alternative.
$5 gets you $5 or whatever you like.
0.2 grams, it's like the tip of a pencil, can get someone high up to almost 8 hours.
It's readily available. 3.5 grams of what they call a ball is roughly around like $80.
How long does that last then?
Not long.
Even Portland police are surprised by how much meth is on the street or in homeless encampments.
You wouldn't necessarily think someone that lives in a tent would have $10,000 of methamphetamine, and they have books that show there's $5,000 or $10,000 of product on the street, essentially IOUs. So those are concerning to us.
What's equally concerning is people with substance use disorder often combine meth with opioids, cocaine, and other illegal drugs, making it hard for first responders to figure out what they're on.
They might have cocaine, they might have spice, they might have meth. It's a real smorgasbord.
One minute they're jonesing, they're almost falling asleep, and the next minute they're erratic and acting irrational.
Meth is not just a homeless or a Portland problem. Drug treatment centers say the vast majority of Mainers being treated for meth are not homeless. Police say meth is also responsible for the recent spike in overdoses.
April 2025, we responded to more overdoses than any other month in the previous 5 years.
Numbers from the state medical examiner show while overdose deaths are down, meth is now found in nearly a third of those deaths.
Maine leads New England in the amount of overdose fatalities where meth is involved.
We got a bunch of soulless people walking around these streets. It's either all about money or drugs.
So our very own Brad Rogers is joining us now live to tell us a little bit more about this resurgence.
Brad, let's talk about meth. Is about it's different from opioids as you can get. It's a stimulant, while opioid depresses the nervous system and slows the heart. Is that another reason, do you think, why users are turning to meth?
I think it's part of it, but really the main reasons, of course, are money. It's cheaper than heroin and other things like that, and also it's just readily available right now. It's incredible how available it is right now for these folks.
I mean, like readily available, $10,000 worth of meth in one tent?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty incredible. And police have made several busts, more than a dozen, I think, in the last 6 weeks alone. And every one of those busts, they found meth, cocaine, fentanyl, all of it. So, there's just a lot of drugs pouring into this state.
Wow. So in the second part of your story there, we took a look at meth in Maine, which people can see on fox23maine.com. You talked about a treatment program that helps people get off of meth. How does that work?
This is a pretty unique program. It's called Contingency Management Program. So there are no drugs that can really help someone, with a meth problem. So this is crazy how this works. They give them a gift card when they come in and have a clean blood test. And then the next time they get a little bit bigger gift card. And then the next time a little bit bigger, up to like $600 they can get over the course of 12 weeks. And it actually works. That's the crazy part. The VA hospitals have been doing this for years now to help with some of the veterans that have this problem as well. But it works. And it kind of retrains the brain, gives them a kind of a bolt of dopamine, kind of what meth does, only like, oh, great, I got a card. So it's just kind of funny how it works.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that in Maine right now, any of these facilities?
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Okay.
We went to the one in Portland. There's also one in Norway and one in Bridgeton as well, all under Maine Health that's doing this. And it's really just incredible how they're seeing, hundreds of patients a week and having a great success story.
You have your finger on the pulse going out to shoot this. What's your one big takeaway from this after being down there interviewing not only law enforcement officials, but some people that have taken drugs?
It's just there's just a lot of desperation, out there. As some of the doctors have told me, people really don't want to be taking meth. They do it because they're trying to escape or they've had some trauma in their past. But they want off it, and a lot of them want off it. They just don't find a path forward. Hopefully this treatment program is that way.
All right, Brad, thanks so much for coming on today. You can watch the second part of his story on our website, which is fox23maine.com.
Good insight.
Yes.